The well ran dry today. And in farmland, that means a lot of things. It means there's cows to water, and there's crops to water, and there's roses and beauty and years and decades and legacy and generation to water. And 100 years ago, this well got dug on my family land. We were not rich farm people. We were poor farm people. We were very rich in love. And I got a call this afternoon in the middle of my workday, and it is my mother. So as soon as I finish my client counseling session, I call. Mama says the well ran dry today. And it just felt so historical. Like there was something so historic that I wrote it in my planner. The well ran dry today. But I remember being little and my mama being worried that that well was going to run dry. And my grandpa always looked and come and told her with his shaky flashlight as he looked down in this beautiful old well. And he'd say, there's a lot of life left in this well. Got 100 more years in it. Well, that well was about 100 years old, and it did have a lot more life than we thought it did. But today, the well ran dry. My mama called and asked if she could bring some jugs up, because on the farm you always got a bunch of milk jugs just in case, because the power goes out, so does your water if you're on well water. And I'm like, of course you can. She's like, I'll pay your water bill. I'm like, you absolutely won't. She's like, I'll pay your power bill. I'm like, you absolutely won't. I'm like, how about instead, for all the things that you've always done for me, my water is your water. But I said, I just have a good feeling that the well run dry. And I didn't know why. And I got alone with the Lord, and I started thinking of all the years that we thought that well would go out, and we were wrong. And all the years that it kept going and growing, everything that we had, including our family. And I think about the woman at the well in John 4. And when Jesus approaches her, it's during a time, they're in a space called Samaria. But I always think about it like some area, just somewhere, wherever you are in your world, when Jesus meets you in some area, you will never be the same. But there was a time where Samaritans were not thought to be very fancy people or anybody that you wanted to associate with. And as Jesus began to speak to this woman, she was confused because she said, you're a Jew and you're talking to a Samaritan. She was kind of confused, and he began to prophesy about her life. And she says, oh, so you're a prophet. Well, tell me this. Our ancestors worshiped God at this mountain, but you Jews insist that Jerusalem is the only place for worship, right? She's confused. She's scared. She's trying to figure out what he's trying to say, and he says, believe me. The time is coming when you Samaritans will worship the Father neither here at this mountain nor there in Jerusalem. You worship guessing in the dark. We Jews worship in the clear light of day. God's ways of salvation is made available through the Jews, but the time is coming. I love what he does right here. It has in fact come when what you're called will not matter and where you go to worship will not matter. It's who you are and the way you live that count before God, and your worship must engage your spirit in the pursuit of truth. The woman says, I don't know about that. I do know that the Messiah is coming, but when he arrives, we'll get the whole story. He says, I am he. You don't have to wait any longer or look any further. I don't know what Samaria is to you or what well in your life has run dry, but the thing is that the well is never dry. This woman is so flabbergasted that Jesus is who he says he is, and she knows it, that she leaves her pitcher of water and don't even get no water. Jesus promised her living water, and the great irony is she left with everything that she needed. The Lord is going to restore what you need. The Lord is going to do it a new way, not the way that you thought, not the way that you're used to. But when the well runs dry, the Lord is always waiting in the wings with a solution. He is the God of the solution. He's the God of the miracle. He's the God of the next season. He's the God of the new thing. And if your well is run dry, no matter what that means to you, you can rest assured that God is going to rally for you. God has been waiting on you in some area, to wait on you to get just comfortable enough to go, well, dang, the well finally ran dry, and him go, It's about time you're comfortable with that, because I'm ready to show you something new. May the Lord bless and keep you. May your farm always be well watered, even if that means that the well has to run dry for